Alright, to make a lightsaber, all you gotta do is, first you get your file open. I have that here. I made a composition by dragging it into this, get my file and drag it into this composition icon. And then I go to layer, then I go to new. Make sure down here is selected or nothing will happen. New, solid. They call that white. Make sure it's white. Push OK. OK. You get this huge white box. Alright, so now all you have is your white box and your layer. This is your movie. Your full entire movie. Alright. So with your white box, it's a solid. Alright. You want to make a mask. You can do this by selecting your pen tool. You can't see what's behind it though. So what you want to do is you want to click white and then you push T so you get the opacity. It says opacity. You want to drag that down, make it very small. 13, that's nice because it's white. If it's a dark color, I recommend dragging it down even more. Alright, so what you do is zoom in, you scroll on your wheel. You want to trace this thing. Leave enough to make a handle. You trace your shape. Make a square. It's a rectangle. That's what a lightsaber is. By doing that, you saw all the white go away. Look, it's white. And when I do that, when I complete this shape, all the white is contained inside my rectangle. Alright, so that's how you make a mask. Now, you would push, make sure this arrow, you click it, bring it up, then you bring it down, so you get everything. You want your transform, this thing right here, you want these clocks. You want them all checked, except for opacity, because that's not really necessary for what we're doing. And you want these mask, under mask, and then mask 1, you want all those time things checked. What checking those little stopwatches do is it makes a keyframe. A keyframe is a little place in time that is saved, pretty much. So this time, this frame right here, it's in that position. Let's say I go forward a little. I'll go forward one, yeah, right here. That's a fluid movement to right there. I'll push V. Now I'll zoom in a little so I can see better. Space to drag it. You don't want to move this. You want to click these things and then move it that way. If you're having trouble, you deselect. You click over here and then you try again. Click, you drag it. There's your point. There's another point. Now you have 2 left. And you put that there. And you put the other one there. There you go. Now, when I'm going back in time, you see it move? That's the first position. Now your white is moving up. It doesn't go any further because I only told it to go so far. Alright. I'm pushing Alt or Option, Mac, PC, whichever. On the timeline. This is your timeline right here. It displays everything you're doing. Alright, this is your keyframe, and that's your keyframe. So over these 3 frames, 7, 8, 9, in the composition, your shape, your mask will change as you told it. You see it right there, there, and there. Past that, it won't change because you didn't tell it to. Alright? Before, it would just be there where you started. Alright, so you would do that for the whole entire draft, whole film. That's how you would make a lightsaber, the first part. Now that this is all done, you want to minimize all these. You want to click white. You want to push T for your opacity again. Now you want to drag that all the way to 100%. Alright. Now I'm gonna make this just so it's the part that I did, so you guys can see a nice fluent flow. Alright. So let's see. Alright, there's the two keyframes. So I'm making this, I'm dragging this. This is your work end. This is where it's gonna end. And that is going to be the whole entire film. It'll just loop this one thing. See that? Alright. Minimize that, so now you have your white. You want to push Command or Control D to duplicate the layer. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. You can redo all the steps you just did twice, but this way is way easier. So you got your white layer and you got another white layer. They're both duplicate, same thing. Push one, you push enter or whatever the PC version does, and you just pick a color. You write the color. This is just purely for reference. You don't have to do a color. You can have them both labeled as white and have no clue what is. It's up to you. Alright, so I did red and white. Obviously, this is going to be a red lightsaber. Alright, I'm just making that a different color so I can differentiate each one. That's my film is orange. My lightsaber is red. Ignore this beam. And white is, I don't know, seafoam or whatever. You can click the little square to change colors. Alright, so with red selected, we want to make this white layer mask, the solid, into a red shape. So you go to Effect, Color Correction, because you want a different color. Hue Saturation. You want to go to Colorize. If you know a better way, just tell me. I'm open to suggestions. 100. This will make sure it's as bright as it can get. 0 is red. You can change this in the color changes. This little slider right here. Changing the one to the left of it doesn't really do anything. Kind of does, kind of doesn't. I kind of just leave that one alone. That's the main one on the right. But I want a red, so I'm going to keep it at 0 because that's pretty much the brightest red I can get. Now when I'm changing this lightness, it'll get lighter, which is adding more white. You don't want to add white because it is white, so you would want to drag it downwards. Alright, I'm going to make the white layer invisible so you can't really see it. You see how it's still white? It's because it's not it's too much light still. Now as I bring it darker, it'll turn red all the way to black. I want a really, really deep red, nice and bright. And 48, negative 48 is what I'd say awesome. It's a good color. Alright, don't go what it says here, this little maroon. You're looking at this. That's your final. Remember, you're starting with white and you're making it maroon, so white plus maroon equals a nice bright red. Alright, now you have a square on top of a square. So you're not gonna see the white. So what you want to do is, with the red still selected, you want to go to Effect. You want to blur it just like a lightsaber. Fast blur. I don't know, that's just my blur of choice. Make it kind of blurry. Oh, also move your red layer. You can just do this by clicking and dragging it below white, so the white shows through. You want to click the white eyeball so you can see it. You want to get a nice little thing. I would get rid of your movie file so you can just see the lightsaber as a whole. Alright, this is your lightsaber right now. So you want to just mess with this little blurriness. Not too blurry, not too dull. I think that's a nice lightsaber. Lightsabers don't have this hard edge, alright? That hard edge is bad. It's all blocky. Lightsabers kind of flow into each other. So you want to select your white. Notice how this has no effects. This whole entire left thing is empty because there's not one effect on the white. Red has two effects, your color and your blur. Your movie has nothing. Alright? Normally you want to layer stuff on your movie unless you want to change color or something. Alright, so with white selected, you want to apply a feather. A feather, it like makes it lighter around the edges. It'll like make it softer. A better way to explain it is by just showing you. You push F for feather, you click it, you push F, and you get this. I would make sure this chain is set because it make it so this one and now these two numbers change at the same rate. So 0044, you check it, and they both change independently. 32, and then this one's 150. I think one's vertical and one's horizontal, so that's why I'd keep them the same. If you want like a 4-to-1 ratio, you uncheck this, you go 4, you go 1, you check your little chain thing, and now it's always at a 4-to-1 ratio, unless you go to 0, because then it'll reset. Alright, so you play with your feather till it looks good. You just want it to fade out a little bit. I think that looks pretty good, I guess. 4. I want to make the blur not as much. Alright, so I drag this the other way. Alright, that's nice. Alright. So that's the lightsaber right now. And that's it moving. Alright. And when you show your video, it looks kind of like a lightsaber. Alright. That's how you do it. A longer preview of it would be I already pre-did this one. I was just messing around how to do it. This one's just your white again. So duplicate the layer. I have my red all set up, so I'm gonna copy and paste. So Control C, Command C, same thing. I'll rename this, make it red. And let's see, it has the opacity is all the way down. This one's blue for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to delete that because I don't want it to be blue. I don't want either of these to be blue. I want them to be white because they're lightsabers. Remember? Because you duplicate it, you got to make sure that both opacities are the same. You want to click on the effect pane. Command C, Control C. Same thing. Now you got your red lightsaber. You want to put it behind the white again. Now you got the same exact lightsaber that you just did. White, I think the feather is, yeah, the feather is higher because, you know, I pre-did that. Feather I had was 4. I can see it right here. 4. And this one's 4 now. So 4, 4, 4, 4. Now it looks just like it did. Yeah, this one's a little bigger, but who cares? Alright. One way to view your composition full screen is you push the tilde key, which is left of the 1. You want to click your composition, push that, be full screen. Make sure this is like fit up to 100% or fit or something. Yeah, just fit. And then you push space to play. So there's my lightsaber. It's a little bit, but you get the point. Takes a while, but, you know, I don't feel like doing the whole thing.